but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my...
What's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports. I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy LeParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Got a great show for you guys today. Got a lot of news to report on. Got a lot of thoughts to share with you guys. Got my man K-Spade with me. Spade, I'm about to kick it off, and I want to talk coaches on the hot seat. But before we go there,
this should be good. Go ahead.
Before we go there, you're going to love this. Reportedly, there are 4 teams that are willing to trade in the NFL. There are reportedly 4 NFL teams willing to trade for 49ers head coach Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, trade a coach. We trading coaches now.
I hate that trading for a coach. I hate that. But go ahead.
But the 4 teams are reportedly the Jets. Whenever the Jets say they keeping their eye on something, I don't know if you want to be part of that. But the Jets say they are keeping their eye on the 49ers situation. Also, the Raiders. I don't know if you remember, Spade. I told you a while back that when players and coaches go to the Raiders, they go there to die. That's really...
It's a wrap.
They call Oakland the black hole. It really is the black hole. Black hole of death. The other team is definitely the Chicago Bears. And a shocker is the Dallas Cowboys. It's reports, I'm doing the quote fingers here. It's reports that if we don't make the playoffs, we will fire Garrett and push for Harbaugh. You know, I was like, yeah, man, that's what they saying, man. I was like, you know, we had a lot of 8-8 seasons over there in Dallas. This is our first winning season in 4 years, at least 4 or 5 years of us going 8-8. But you know, we finally got our 9th win, and they saying that if we don't make the playoffs, we want to push for Harbaugh. Now, if you guys haven't heard the news, reportedly, it's not the players. It's not the players that don't like Harbaugh. It's the GM and the owner and more staff members. Like, they just saying that they cannot get along with Harbaugh. He is hard to get along with. And if you guys seen Kaepernick his little interview over this past week, he was saying that, you know, we love Coach Harbaugh.
Pissed. He was pissed.
He was. They were saying that, you know, he was saying that, you know, we love Coach Harbaugh. It's not us. We stand by our coach. So I want to know, do you see Harbaugh going to any of these schools, Spade? Also, Harbaugh could end up going to Michigan. You know, he is a Michigan guy. They like a Michigan man over there. They fired their coach. So it's a lot going on in this potential offseason of the NFL head coach.
Indeed. Well, before I give you my 2 cents on that, for anybody watching who don't know, some clear-cut coaches is on the hot seat. Mike Smith in Atlanta, he is done for.
You think he done?
Do I think he done?
Yeah, ain't they leading the division? Ain't they leading the division?
Man, let me tell you, that guy's done, okay?
Okay,
some of
Mike
the Falcons
Smith,
losses. Some of the Falcons' losses have just been his fault. It's been Mike Smith's fault. You know what I'm saying? Not that he's coaching and the players just are not performing well.
Okay.
He's making some boneheaded coaching decisions. He's out of there.
Okay.
Of course, the Jets might be looking to part ways with Rex Ryan.
Yeah, Rex, who I think is a good coach. I think Rex is a good coach, though.
I do too. I don't know though. Rex is a guy you either love him or hate him. I don't think it's any middle ground with Rex.
Can I mention the guy?
Chicago and Tressman?
Yeah, definitely Chicago. That dude is gone. But can I mention the guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Marvin Lewis. Like, don't get me wrong. I love
Marvin's not on the hot seat, is he?
He's not on the hot seat, but he's one of them guys I think can need a change of scenery. For whatever reason, he got them. I think the Bengals are sitting at 7-7. They win games over there, but it does not amount to wins in the playoffs. And I just think Marvin Lewis needs a change of scenery. I think he needs a change of scenery.
He needs a change of quarterback. That's what he needs. That's what he needs. But I agree.
Okay.
I mean, he's definitely in a weird spot. But speaking of coaches that's in a weird spot, how is Ron Rivera not on the hot seat in Carolina?
Okay.
I mean,
definitely.
He's been the captain of that ship for a long time, and that ship consistently get beat up by other pirate ships. They just beat up on Carolina.
But let me ask,
seeing Carolina be that bad.
But let me ask you: is it Ron Rivera? Or is it the GM or in maybe the organization for not giving him the pieces. Because I don't know if you guys
the organization.
I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but I posted a picture of the receivers that Cam Newton has had to throw to since he came in the league. And aside from Steve Smith, who was a stud, the rest of them dudes were cheeks. Them dudes was terrible. I just don't think they giving Cam Newton and Coach Rivera enough to work with down there in Carolina.
I'll buy some of that. Carolina fans, how do y'all put up with y'all? Like, I don't understand Carolina. Y'all so cheap. Y'all don't want to spend money. I don't get it. So you're right. It might not be Ron Rivera, but if I'm Ron Rivera, I'm tired of coaching a team where the organization won't get me pieces.
Well, I'm
maybe
100%
Ron
agree
Rivera
with
need
that.
to interview with some of these other teams that's got some coaches on the hot seat.
I agree with that.
Let's stay in the NFL, man. I got some more news for you. News comes out of Cleveland, Ohio, that Brian Hoyer is the guy. They're going to stay with Brian Hoyer. He has struggled as of late. A lot of people don't like this news. I don't have a problem with the news. I agree with the news. Stick with Brian Hoyer. You're saying, oh boy, that means you don't agree. What you thinking, man?
I don't agree with it, man. Over the past 3 or 4 weeks, Brian Hoyer has looked horrible. I'm not saying put Johnny Manziel in because it's Johnny Manziel. I'm saying take Hoyer out because it's Hoyer. I don't care if Johnny Manziel backing him up. I don't care if it's Derek Anderson. I don't care who it is that's his backup. They need a spark, and for whatever reason, Hoyer isn't giving that team a spark.
I don't think that's fair, though. I mean, they played a big part of the season without Josh Gordon.
Okay.
The tight end Cameron went down with injuries. Yeah. And they still have a winning record. Cleveland has a winning record. That don't even sound right to me. And you got to give Brian Hoyer some credit for it, man. You got to.
I'm going to give Brian Hoyer 40% of the credit, man. 40%. The defense. That's enough. The defense is playing a lot better over there in Cleveland. A lot better.
That's true.
A lot better. Whenever you can win games, because Brian Hoyer won a game over, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Brian Hoyer won a game, and the offense looked like crap. The defense was playing amazing, and Brian Hoyer just couldn't get him in the end zone. He just couldn't get him in the end zone. So I think a change at quarterback, and I'm not saying take Hoyer out and don't put him back in. If you put Johnny Manziel in and he looked like crap, put Hoyer back in. But when Johnny Manziel, but when Johnny Manziel touched the field in the game last week, did he not score a touchdown? And them players was jumping on him. They was mad happy. That's the sport that I'm talking about.
I don't know why. That's what I'm confused about. Now, Johnny Manziel, he's going to bring you some excitement. He's going to do the get money thing. People like to do the get money thing. I don't know why. People like to do the get money thing. Ain't got no money in their pocket, but they doing the get money thing.
True.
Johnny Manziel got the holy hell knocked out of him in that game.
I knew you was going to bring it up.
He took a cat nap in the end zone. And I said that. I said on the show, he's not that fast to these NFL guys. If you say, I don't think he's that fast, I think he's very explosive. He's not that explosive. Now, I'll give you this. He definitely has the ability to, extend a play with his legs. But I think that Johnny thinks that he can do Texas A&M stuff out here. You can't, Johnny. You'll get knocked out in the end zone doing that stuff.
Let me ask you a question.
Brian Hoyer is the man.
Spade, let me ask you a question. The future of the Cleveland Browns, is it Johnny Manziel or is it Brian Hoyer?
Is it a C? None of the above?
No.
C?
No, it's no C. It's no C.
Well, of those two, man, I got to say, for right now, Manziel might have an extremely high ceiling. But for right now, I honestly think it's Hoyer. I really do.
Spade.
I know people don't like that, but I'm sorry. That's what I think.
I'm done. SAS, I'm done. We moving on. I'm done.
Okay. I will be finishing today's show by myself. LePage is going to go weep about Johnny Manziel not being able to do the get money dance.
Yeah, man. I'm done. Spade is officially losing his mind if you think Brian Hoyer is the future of the Cleveland Browns. I'm done.
No, I don't think either one of them is the future, but you want to let me bubble in and see. So
nah, you can't. Ain't no C. It's A and B. Who's another
those
quarterback?
Two guys right now, it's the guy that ain't sleep in the end zone. That's Brian Hoyer.
Bro, Brian Hoyer ain't sleep in the end zone because he sleep in the red zone. They can't get touchdowns. They can't score touchdowns.
I'm trying to take a drink of water, man. You trying to make me spit on my microphone. Let's move
He ain't
forward,
sleep in the
man.
end
What
zone
else we
because
got?
he sleep in the red zone. Let's move on.
Whatever.
Let's talk about the Sixers. Moving on to some NBA news because I'm off that. Let's move on. Talk about the
champagne.
Sixers. The 76ers getting their first win of the season. They played the Minnesota Timberwolves. And before Philly fans be like, I told y'all, we picked this game. Y'all should have picked this game. Before y'all go there and say all that, the top 2 or 3 players from the Minnesota Timberwolves were out that game with, I'm doing the quote fingers here, injuries. But I think Flip Saunders did a Greg Popovich and was like, yeah, we playing Philly. We got this. Y'all can take a day off. And Philly slipped them the banana in the tailpipe and got a dub out there. So congrats to Philly. You guys will not go 0-8.
Congratulations, 76ers.
Yeah, you guys will not go 0-82, but you may go 1-81. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, Philly.
When we had the episode where we was looking at the schedule, we was trying to predict the loss, or should I say the win, the first win. I looked at this game, and I wanted to say this game, but I don't know. I guess I've been playing too much 2K. I thought Zach LaVine would just have a big game and go off. And I looked at this game, and I didn't pick it. But shout out to one of our viewers, Michael Gillo, I believe that's how you say his name. He definitely picked this one right. And he may have not been the only person. Matter of fact, I don't think he was the only person. But I do remember seeing him say it. So if anybody else said it and I missed you, blame LaParis.
But kudos to Philly, man. You guys have been accumulating the losses, but you guys have been playing tough, man. Regardless what the end of the score is, you guys are playing tough out there. So kudos to y'all for getting y'all first win.
MCW's been playing tough. But anyway, let's move forward. Let's stay with the NBA.
Okay.
You guys know this show is recorded before you see it, so don't quote me on the number. The number might not be the same, but Kobe Bryant is 70-ish points within striking distance of passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Yep. I, for one, don't really feel like this is a big deal. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's a big deal for Kobe that he's on the top 5 scoring list, and I think this will move him into 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. But people are gonna take this situation and make their Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant comparisons, and I don't think that's fair, and I don't like that. But I guess kudos to Kobe. How you feel about this one, homie?
This may be one of the few topics we agree on SAS. Because I'm in agreement with you. I don't think it's a big deal. You know, Kobe Bryant has been in the league almost 20 years. I think it's like 18 or 19 years. Michael Jordan got his amount of points in 15 years. Let's not forget that Michael Jordan took off 2 or 3 years to go play baseball in his prime. That's prime. True. So we cannot knock that, in his prime. We're in the 90s when the Bulls was practically running the NBA. So it's been a lot of messages on Twitter, people saying this proves that Kobe's the GOAT. He's better than MJ, yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
No, it doesn't.
No, he's not. And I don't care if Kobe was to wait. Let me finish, babe. I don't care if Kobe was to miraculously get a 6th ring. He still wouldn't be better than Jordan. Still.
I hate the comparisons. I do for this reason. I don't want to say hate, but I was never a big Kobe Bryant fan.
Me neither.
And the reason why I didn't like him, because you could watch him and tell that he emulated Jordan, but he would never just say, yeah, Michael is my idol and I kind of emulate him. He would always say, no, I'm not trying to act like Mike. There's no comparison. Yeah. I'm not taking the fadeaway just like him. I'm not doing the fist pump after a made shot just like him. And it made me hate him. But at some point, I realized that Kobe has an extreme talent. He is a great player. He's one of the great players in NBA history. And he deserves to be celebrated for that. But please, I don't want to hear Kobe to MJ comparisons. There are no comparisons. There are none. MJ would eat this guy for breakfast. He would pour milk on his head and eat him with his Cocoa Pebbles. With his Wheaties.
He's on another
level.
Be
over.
And for those guys that say Kobe Bryant got 5 championships, no, Kobe Bryant and Shaq got 3 championships, and then the Lakers made the biggest heist of them all and traded for Pau Gasol and for Kwame Brown, and that was the biggest NBA heist trade ever. And they got Powell, and Powell got him another 2. You know what I mean? Now Kobe may have won some MVPs in there, but when he was with Powell, I think Powell deserved one, and I think that last one Kobe won, it should have went. The MVP should have went to Artest. It should have went to Artest. Artest played a great series in that last championship the Lakers won.
Well,
but
wait. See, you went and messed it up.
I'm gonna sit back in my seat.
Just agreeing, and then you just turned off on Retard Boulevard. Now, I'm not gonna say that Pau Gasol got them 2 rings. I'm not.
He did, bro.
No, he did,
bro.
No, he didn't. All right,
Kobe always had a big. Kobe always had a big, Spade. He always had a big.
And Pau Gasol was definitely a key part of the win. But to say Pau Gasol got him 2, that's a Bally Yoga stretch. I would prefer you not say that on the show. Okay?
He did, man.
And don't say that Ron Artest was the MVP. Don't say that on the show either.
He was.
Whatever. What else?
Let's move on.
We have,
Let's move on. Let's talk about the Warriors win streak. I want to talk about the Warriors win streak. The Warriors got, if not the best, one of the best records in the NBA. They're on an 11-game win streak, and I started looking at the Warriors games, and I said, "Wow,
what
they
you
won
find?
11."
Wait, let me set this up. What did you find, sir?
I found out that on the 11-game win streak that the Warriors have, they have not played a team with a winning record. I was like, hold up. I said, hold up.
They just out there taking money from the little kids.
Yeah, man. They out there beating the headlights off middle schoolers. I was like, hold up. So it got me to thinking like, wow, is this 11-game win streak a great streak, or are they just doing what they're supposed to do? What do you think about that?
This is funny because you and I had this conversation earlier in the week, and I told you, and you can vouch for me, I told you, and this is before you made your discovery, before you discovered that they were beating teams with losing records. I told you, I said, Golden State is playing amazing, but I still don't believe them. And by that, I mean, I don't care how well they look in the regular season, I do not think this team could win the championship this year. And they could. They could prove me wrong. And I would like for them to. But I doubt it. They just remind me of that Phoenix Sun team that had Nash and Joe Johnson and Amari. They were so fun to watch. Or even the Golden State team, that had Baron Davis. They was fun to watch. You like watching these guys play. But when it came to these series, I'm not talking about like one game. I'm talking like these series, this best of 7 series. I just don't know if I can be all in on Golden State. The Golden State fans are not going to like that. You guys are probably going to come from my neck. But I'm just being honest. I'm just strong-arming it up here. That's how I feel, man.
But I found something else out about the Warriors. They are crediting Steve Kerr with a lot of this. And they pretty much banging the cannon on Mark Jackson. Now, you read the article, and I want to know, how do you feel about them going at Mark Jackson neck like that?
I don't like it. First of all, for anybody who hasn't seen the article or haven't heard the comments, the Golden State Warrior owners, his name is Joe. I'm probably gonna mess his last name up. Is it Lacob? It looks like Lacob. It looks like Jacob with an L. This guy came out and banged the cannon and basically said that the reason why he had to fire Mark Jackson was because Mark Jackson wasn't liked by anybody but the players, which is funny because this sounds just like the San Francisco thing we just talked about. He said that you can't have 200 people in your organization that dislike you. And I was with him. I was like, okay, I can get that. Then he took it a step forward and said that he wanted Mark Jackson to hire the best assistants that he could hire because he don't think Mark Jackson knew anything about X's and O's. And I don't, that's crazy to me because, I mean, let's be honest here. You don't have to be a great player to be a great coach. In most cases, great players don't work out as coaches. And some of the players that are reserves or whatnot end up being better coaches because they are more of a student of the game, so to speak. They spend a lot of time on the sideline. Steve Kerr, at best, was a role player. When he played, he was a role player. Mark Jackson was like a on-the-court coach for the Pacers.
I agree.
You can ask Reggie Miller a lot of times. he would go at Reggie Miller and get Reggie ready for the game. He said he would make up things about Reggie Miller, that was never even said, to get in Reggie Miller's head. And he is great at involving his teammates and inspiring his teammates. But I just think to step out and say that he didn't know anything about X's and O's, I think that's unfair. And even to compare Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr at this point is still unfair. Steve Kerr has been that coach for 1 month. Let's wait. Yeah. Let's see what they do. They might get scrubbed up in the playoffs too. Let's wait and see what they do before you start bashing Mark Jackson. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's been 15 games. That's not fair. Mark Jackson was there for 3-4 seasons. That's not fair. But let me tell you what I really don't like. Mark Jackson is gone. He done moved on. He's on TV now. For you to kick his back in when he leaves and maybe hinder him from getting his next job, what is that?
Yeah,
what is that? Come on, that's basically saying Mark Jackson didn't have anything to do with Golden State. If he's not calling the X's and O's, then who was?
No, wait.
That can potentially hurt him from getting his next job. That's a terrible thing to do, man. He's gone. Let it be. Why you want to talk about it now?
That's true. Terrible. But in his defense, he did actually credit Mark Jackson with a lot of things, and he said he has a great deal of respect for Mark Jackson. He went on to say that the players loved him, and he said he did a lot of good things for the organization. But ultimately, nobody else liked him. That probably includes Joe Lacob too. And and then the whole comment about the X's and O's. To read that, I was like, wow. I'm looking at the owner. Like, for an owner to say his coach doesn't know X's and O's, that would imply that the owner knows. So I mean, why don't you send a couple plays in since you got it all figured out, Mr. Big Brain?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man. And let me tell you what I don't like. The owner said, he said he's done a lot for the organization.
Yeah,
you said that's what the owner said.
He said he helped change. Like, I don't have the exact quote, but he was basically saying that the organization was stuck kind of doing the same thing, and Mark Jackson helped take them in another direction. So he credited him for that.
Yeah, like the winning direction, because they was losing before that.
I agree.
They was losing before that. And this kind of situation kind of remind me. Remember a few years back, maybe more than a few, when the San Diego Chargers had Marty Schottenheimer and he went 14-2 and they fired him. Like, how do you win and get fired? What is that?
Well,
what is that?
He couldn't. His whole thing was he couldn't win in the playoffs, like, ever.
Yeah, man.
And they gave him a lot longer tenure there than Mark Jackson was given. But let's move forward, man. Let's jump to some NCAA football news. You all right with that?
Okay, we can move on.
All right, so check this out. UAB, this is a college in Alabama. What is it? University of Alabama, Birmingham?
Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah. So these guys are losing their football program, and they have a 6-6 record this year. They're basically saying that the funds are not coming in. It's costing them more money to keep that football program going than the football program is bringing in. Well, the big question, that first of all, I just feel sorry for those kids, man, because those kids, they're out there fighting on the field, every day trying to get wins and just trying to, live their dreams. But a lot of people saying at 6-6, they could possibly get a bowl invite. And the question is, should they play in the bowl? And before you say that's a dumb question, you got to look at it from both sides. Yes, you could play. If you're a player there, you want to play as many games as you can. But on the other side, they said that a bowl invite still wouldn't get them the revenue to keep the program. So if you are a football player, like the homie LaParis was saying to me, if you're a football player, you play in this game, they make the money, and they still hang you your bags after that game and tell you goodbye, and you're going to be wondering what in the world are they going to do with all this money, like, if it's not going to this program. So I know how you feel about it, but they don't. LaParis, rap with them for a minute.
Now, I played college football, and the college football player in me is like, let's play. I remember one of my coaches got fired, and we was like, we ain't playing without our coach. That's how football players are. The football player in me is saying, play the bowl game. Play the bowl game. But outside looking in, where I'm sitting right now, hell no, we don't play that bowl game. I don't want to make this school another dime. No, and regardless whether it's the Motor City Bowl or the Capital One Bowl or the We On My Block Bowl, whatever, it's going to accumulate some dollars regardless whether you win or lose. More if you win, but it's going to accumulate some dollars. And if if our program is still going to fall under, I don't want to play because I don't want to make this school another dime on my back. On my back, I'm not making this school another dime. And one thing I want to ask, which I don't know the answer to, I don't think Spade know the answer to it either. What happens to the players? Do the players that's there get to keep a scholarship? Because I'm pretty sure when they signed their scholarship, they to go to UAB, I'm pretty sure the guy didn't say, if you come to UAB in 2 years, we might be shutting it on down. So I want to know, do the players get to keep their scholarships, man? Because if not, that is terrible. That is terrible.
Now let me take that question and throw another thing on. And this is for the viewers. I just want to know you guys' opinion. If out of high school you're given a full ride scholarship to UAB to play football, you go there for a year. Let's say you go there for 2 years. The football program gets banged, but the school says that you can finish your education there. You still get the free education. Do you try to stay there and get your education, or do you try to get out of there and try to get another opportunity at another university? Because it's going to be tough for those guys. A lot of these guys are probably going to have to go to another school and walk on and then try to earn a scholarship later. You're not going to come through the door and get a scholarship like that.
That is true. I also read that if, the NCAA, so far, the NCAA being the NCAA who we hate, so far, they are not giving the players a pass. They gave when Penn State was going through their issues, they gave the players a pass. They could transfer and didn't have to sit out a year.
Oh yeah,
if the UAB players transfer, they gotta sit out a year.
That sucks, man. That's
crazy.
Well, before we move forward, man, I wanna call out Roddy White. Roddy White, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, played college ball at UAB. I just played my career in NBA 2K15. I went back and donated so my old gym could be open. Roddy, go save your program. Go drop $1 million off, man. Do it for the kids. Yeah. I mean, I can't be in that man's pockets, but I wish they could save this program. I really do.
I really don't know if it helps, man. I really don't. But that's a sad situation.
It really is.
It's terrible. But we ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's talk about the Heisman Watch. It's football season is winding on down. We got the conference championship games coming on, and it's been a lot of speculation about who's going to win the Heisman. So the list so far that I have is Mariota, Oregon, Gordon from Wisconsin. We got Cooper, who's an amazing wide receiver from Alabama. We got Boykin, the quarterback from TCU. And we got JT Barrett, the quarterback that just got injured from Ohio State. Yeah. Who are you picking?
Wait, who would I give it to, or who do I think is going to win?
Who would you give it to?
I would give it to Amari Cooper.
Who would you give it to?
Amari Cooper is hands down the most dominant college football player in the NCAA this year. And I know people are going to say one of these quarterbacks, but the big difference is the quarterback touches the ball on every offensive possession. Amari Cooper doesn't, but he still impacts the game like a quarterback that touches the ball every play. Amari Cooper is amazing. I love him and I hate him at the same time because he's from Miami. Why couldn't you come to the Canes, Amari?
Chicks.
Why, Amari? I'm sorry, man. I hate to do that. Go ahead.
But so since you would pick Amari, who do you think will win it?
The late surge by Oregon. I mean, Oregon, they give it up on the first date. They would go up there and give up the booty. And I was expecting Oregon to give up the booty. Hemp is probably watching, and he's been telling me every week, like, Spade, you owe my Ducks an apology. And they finished strong. They did have that one hiccup, and they finished strong. And Mariota is definitely the reason why they finished strong. Yeah. He looks amazing. I think he's probably going to win it. Yeah.
I would pick Melvin Gordon to win it. Melvin Gordon, I think he's like 67% of Wisconsin offense. That's just a crazy. That's just a crazy number. It's a crazy number. 67% of their offense. But I'm gonna have to agree with you, and I think they will give it to Mariota to win the Heisman, another QB,
which I'm okay with. Let me say that I'm okay with Mariota.
I'm okay with it too. But to me, they might as well just change the Heisman name to the most explosive offensive player or something, because a defensive guy would never, aside from Charles Woodson, but he had to play offense and kick return and punt return and punt return. and run back
Special
some
teams.
interceptions for TDs.
Right.
You know what I mean? A defensive player would never win it, and I just think that the Heisman is just an offensive award. It's just an offensive award.
I agree.
So we
let's
can move on
forward, man. Our pick'em game for the week. We're gonna go back to the NFL for this one.
Okay.
Our pick'em game for the week will come to you guys Thursday night. It's the Arizona Cardinals versus the St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
Compares who you got and why.
I'm gonna go shockingly, because I kind of was leading the other way, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals because they started hot. They had Carson Palmer. They had 9 wins. I think they was 9-1. They kind of, Carson Palmer went down. They kind of hit that wall. Now they can't get dubs with Drew Stanton back there. And I want to believe that the Cardinals, especially if they don't win Sunday and they don't win this Thursday that we picking for this game, they will not make the playoffs. They will not make the playoffs. I want to believe that they have enough testicular fortitude. You see that word? Testicular fortitude. That they will push. That. They will push and get this dub to get in the playoffs. Because if they don't get in the playoffs this year, they may never get in the playoffs for a long time.
It's crazy, man. I like the Cardinals, but I can't. It's gonna be a good game. I feel like it's gonna be a good game, and the things that I like about the Cardinals are the same things that I like about the Rams, and it's that defense. Yeah. They got a young defense that really know how to get to the ball. I think the Cardinals have one of the better secondaries, but for a reason that's gonna blow your mind, I'm going with the Rams on this. Actually, a couple of reasons. I know. I just took the Cardinals in one of our earlier pick'ems against Detroit, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. The Cardinals are gonna be missing their starting quarterback. Ellington might not play. You never know. Like we said, he's always hurt. But even if he does play, he's banged up. I don't know if they'll have Fitzgerald back either. Yeah. And then, although the Rams are also playing without their starting quarterback, Trey Mason has been playing amazing here lately.
Yeah, he stepped it up.
And I just feel like he's kind of got the juice right now. He's got the juice. So, if they can protect the football, that's going to be the big thing. If they can protect the football, I see the Rams pulling out a nail biter in this one.
I think it's going to be a great game. And y'all remember that I beat K-Spade last Wednesday when I picked against him in the pick'em game. Just a little tidbit right there. Just a little tidbit, man. But I think it's going to be a great game. We got a good one for Thursday for our pick'em game. I'm ready to move on. Strong arm performer of the week. Want to know who you got and why? What did they do?
Man, my strong arm performer of the week is the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones for his game against the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the numbers weren't very beast. It was 10 catches for 190 yards.
That's beast. That's beast.
But I'm gonna tell you why it's beast. It's beast because it was on Pat Pete. And these two players have some history. Of course, Julio played for Alabama. Pat Pete played for LSU. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of jawing going into this game. They were saying like Pat Pete kind of got the best of Julio back in college, and Julio had not been playing very well, but he stepped up to the occasion. And he gave Pat Pete all he wanted out there. So, Julio, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Well deserved. He cooked. Well deserved.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick from the Texans. Now, remember, Now, you remember, he ended up getting benched for Mallet. Mallet got hurt. Fitzpatrick came back in for this previous game right here. And Fitzpatrick did 24 of 33, 358 yards, 6 TDs. But guess what? No picks. No turnovers from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Wow, man. He just had a phenomenal game. Honorable mention goes to my man DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver from the Texans, because he cooked as well. But Fitzpatrick definitely deserved to be my strong arm performer of the week. It's been a great show, Spade.
Beautiful.
It's been a great show,
It's been a great show. We held you guys a little longer this week than we wanted to, but we had a lot of great information we wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Before we close this out, man, I want to encourage you guys to share the show if you like it. Tell a friend, send a link, post it on your Facebook, bang the like, subscribe to the channel. So, folks, we've held you long enough. That's all I got for this week. LaParis, if you're done, I'm done, man. You
That's
good?
it, man. It's been a great show, man, as always.
Mm.